The South Carolina Gamecocks are looking to bounce back after a tough weekend in SEC play, while a road-weary opponent comes in looking to snap a slide. From Carolina Softball Stadium at Beckham Field, the South Carolina Gamecocks host the Bryant University Bulldogs. Hi everyone, Brad Muller alongside the All-American Dr. Megan Matthews-Bunning. Thanks so much for joining us here this afternoon for this doubleheader. Well, the Gamecocks were swept in 3 games to open up SEC play over the weekend against Kentucky, and now the Gamecocks hope to get back to basics.
Yeah, well, listen, Brad, playing in the SEC is hard enough, but the Gamecocks sure made it tough on themselves. They hit below 200 in all 3 games, and there were a lot of miscues on the field. But this is a veteran team. They should be able to bounce back and score a lot of runs. They have senior leadership in Kennedy Clark, Mackenzie Bozel's bouncing back, and Jana Johns, and the pitching staff's finally starting to come together, having Kelsey O back from a nasty ankle injury.
And Gamecocks will send a freshman to the circle here in Game 1 of this doubleheader as Carly Heath takes to the circle. You see her numbers on the year and a very deep pitching staff for South Carolina.
And Carly's going to throw in the mid to low 60s, around that 62, 64 range. She's going to mix a rise, a curve, and a changeup. Her go-to is going to be that curve, but she's got to make sure that that changeup's working for her today.
Game 1 of this doubleheader as the Bryant Bulldogs come to the plate. Shortstop Tony Camarillo to lead things off. As you see the Bulldog lineup, they have struggled to start. They are 1-15 on the season and have been on the road the entire season. In fact, their first 28 games will be away from their home state of Rhode Island before they play the first home game at the end of the month. First pitch on the way, infield in, and pitches down low for ball 1. We're underway here in Columbia. Nice day. Finally starting to feel like springtime here.
I think the key word is finally, but don't you worry. There's some more cold weather coming across.
Next pitch misses outside, and the freshman falls behind. Heath 5-0. You saw the numbers on her. 27 strikeouts against 15 walks in 29 innings pitched so far. And there's a strike. Camarillo's a freshman at the plate, hitting at .255. Leads the team with 12 hits. Also has 3 doubles. Takes a strike on the outside corner, and Heath battles back to level the count. Camarillo out of Corona, California. She's the niece of former NFL punter Rich Camarillo, who had a long career. Up high, runs it full.
It's really neat over the years to hear the connections that you see a lot of softball athletes whose parents or they have some close relatives that have played pro league and or even collegiately. It just goes to show just how athletic softball athletes are. So plug there for women.
There you go.
Don't even want to hear your sass.
Up the middle for a base hit and a good start for a Bryant team that had been struggling at the plate. A team batting average of 183 coming into the week. And Camarillo off to a good start for the Bulldogs. Brings up the left fielder Morgan Powell, another left-handed hitter. Powell a sophomore. Takes a strike on the outside corner. She's the leading hitter for the Bulldogs. 11 hits in 35 at-bats, no extra base hits, no RBI.
You talked about how much that Bryant has been on the road, and I can tell you that that is definitely a factor in their record. It's hard to play that much on the road.
Gets a good bunt down, and everybody's safe, so all of a sudden the Bulldogs threatening with 2 on and nobody out. As Powell looking to get the runner over, she does more than that.
That was a textbook bunt. You can see it stays in front of the plate. And just know where to go with that.
So they're at first and second with nobody out for the third baseman, Mariana Politis. Swings at the first pitch, pops one up, foul territory, long chase, and the first baseman, Madison Owens, is there. And there's a big first out for the Gamecocks. Brings up the cleanup hitter, The DP, Gianna Ceccarelli. See the Gamecock defense infield. Johns, McGuire, and Bozel, all starters from last year. Owens is the newcomer, and Vest behind the plate. First pitch to Ceccarelli, strike at the knees. Gamecocks in the outfield. Clark, the veteran, in left field. Lauren Stewart, what a great story she's been this year, bouncing back from injury. And Alexis Lindsay gets the start there in right field today. 2 on with 1 out. Swing and a miss.
I was kind of letting you get through everything that you need to get through there, but I did want to go back to Madison Owens' first out catch. That was a clutch out. You can see Carly Heath is struggling just a little bit. Bryant's doing a good job of putting the bat on the ball. And so for the freshman first baseman to come and get that foul out, which actually was not an easy play for her, that was well done.
Yeah, the infield for South Carolina was one of their strengths last year, continues to be this year. The Gamecocks set a school record for double plays turned a year ago with 31 on their way to a super regional appearance. 1-2 pitch, and Ceccarelli stays alive. First ever meeting between these two schools, and they'll play 2 today. One-two again. Slow roller right side, only play to first. Mackenzie Bozel is there, and there's the second out. Runners to second and third on the play.
That was a nicely pitched change up by Carly Heath, low in the zone. Ceccarelli was a little off balance. You could see her weight coming forward. Good pitch.
Runners at second and third for the first baseman, Jessica Gradius. Gradius, a senior. First pitch, warm burner to short. Mackenzie McGuire is there, inning over. So the Bulldogs threaten but don't score. They leave 2. No score as the Gamecocks come up for their first set of swings. 7 Innings is the weekly softball podcast ready to chronicle the road to the Women's College World Series. The ESPN personalities covering the sport all season will shine a spotlight on the teams and players that make softball so special. 7 Innings will entertain us all the way to Oklahoma City and beyond. Listen now on the ESPN app, iTunes, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Bottom of the first, Gabrielle Ermish, the junior in the circle for the Bryant Bulldogs here in Game 1. Ermish 0-5 on the season, making her 7th start, 8th appearance overall. And the Gamecocks offensively, a lot of veterans in the lineup. McGuire at the top of the lineup. You see Mackenzie Bozel a little bit further down in the lineup than normal, but that's actually not a bad thing. We'll talk about that when she comes to the plate. And Stewart, as we said, has been a nice story so far this year for the Gamecocks. Here's McGuire to lead things off. First pitch from Ermish catches the outside corner for a strike, and we're underway.
I think the key for Ermish is going to be to make sure she's hitting her spots, keeping the ball off the plate. I also think that she's going to face a South Carolina offense and team in general that is just frustrated coming off of the weekend.
Roller to first on the bunt, trips over the bag, but they get the out. Take a look at the Bulldogs defensively. Politis at third, Camarillo at short. Goulart at second, Gradius at first, Hickey behind the plate. And the outfield with Powell, Bell, and Crane. Here's Lauren Stewart, the junior, started her career at Purdue. Had a good year there, hit .306 her freshman year, then transferred to South Carolina, did not play much her first year here in 2017. Was injured last year, and now she has come on to be one of the Gamecocks' top hitters. See her numbers on the year. She has 9 RBI in the last 10 games and a couple of home runs as well during that span.
Coach Smith talked extensively over the weekend just how pleased she has been with Stewart. I mean, anytime you're coming off of, 1, your transfer, then 2, you're coming off of recovery, that can be mentally challenging for an athlete, and Stewart has just done such a fantastic job bouncing back.
Two Hopper to third, and there's two away quickly here in the Gamecocks first. I mentioned the rough weekend for South Carolina, a nationally ranked series start taking on Kentucky, which you're going to see almost every weekend in the SEC. Is almost more than half the teams are usually in the top 25. They were swept here by Kentucky, but it wasn't so much that they lost. It was surprised they were swept at home because the series was at home, but how they played, and really all areas of their game were not very good. First, Kennedy Clark stands in and drops a single into right field. There's the first hit for South Carolina.
You know, and you have to give credit to Kentucky because Kentucky did come in, for the most part, functioning on all cylinders. And I think South Carolina, I don't know that they were caught by surprise by Kentucky, but I just think, like you said, they weren't functioning on all cylinders. And, you know, it wasn't even game by game. It was inning by inning. One inning, the defense would be playing well, and then the next it wouldn't, or, you know, something like that. But bottom line is, you know, they came out Sunday and they swung the bats better. They had made an adjustment, and that was a good sign if you're a coach sitting there watching that. But they definitely need to use these two games to get their confidence back, get their swings back. Like I said, I think they're frustrated, but frustrated in a good way where it's going to pump them up.
Here's Jana Johns, the sophomore third baseman, hitting in the cleanup spot with 2 outs. Foul ball down the left field line. That'll get out of play. Johns named the SEC All-Freshman team a year ago, as well as the All-Defensive team. She was the everyday starter as a rookie. Started every game. The Gamecocks leading hitter coming into today, hitting at .435. Team leading 6 home runs. And a good play by Ermish here, and that'll retire the side. The Gamecocks get 1 aboard, but leave her stranded. We're scoreless after 1 here in Columbia. 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up for the Bryant Bulldogs here in the top of the second inning. Game 1 of our doubleheader. Both teams registered a hit in that first inning. Bulldogs had a couple of runners stranded in their first inning after an infield hit and a fielder's choice. Second baseman Kaylee Goulart will lead things off. First pitch swing sends a grounder to Jana Johns, and there's 1 pitch and 1 away. Economical start for Carly Heath. Jana Johns, as we told, has been steady there at third base and has really picked up the bat this year. Here's Alexandria Hickey, the catcher for the Bulldogs. Hickey, a sophomore from St. John, Indiana.
I really, really like Jana Johns over there at third. I enjoy watching her play. You know, I enjoy watching a lot of softball, but there are particular athletes that you have that you're just drawn to them, and Jana Johns for me is one of those. She just is so spunky, and I think part of that is because as a coach and as a pitcher I can appreciate her style of play because she's so aggressive over there. And if you're in the circle, that's what you love, is you love to see a gritty third baseman that's going to lay out.
Carly Heath off to a good start here. No balls and 2 strikes as Hickey steps back in. Comebacker, and Heath has got it quickly 2 away. I have to admit, I'm always surprised when the pitcher is able to catch that cleanly and make it look easy because it gets back at you so fast. Sometimes I don't know how they have time to react.
Yeah, I'm glad you put that because it gets back to you so fast on there because I was about to rip into you. Yeah, no, it does. Sometimes it can come off the bat so fast that it's pure just reaction and you just happen to get your glove up in front of your face. That's happened to me a couple times. And like you said, it happens so fast that sometimes you don't even think about it. So it's kind of an after the fact. But we saw Kayla Drotar this weekend. Ball came back so fast it nailed her in the shin, and she didn't have time to move. That's how quickly it came. And you know, as a pitcher, you just come to expect that. Part of that is when you go through your pitching motion to make sure that you're squared up in a good position to be able to defend yourself and field your position.
Center fielder Tiffany Bell stands in. Bell, a junior from Egg Harbor City, New Jersey.
I kind of wish you would have just stopped, so just to see what would have happened.
Oh, you would have been all over me. And there's a base hit through the left side. Second hit of the day for the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs not going quietly here in the second.
See, Heath just brings that right over the middle of the plate, up in the zone. Bell does a nice job keeping her hands high. And I tell you, if you're Bryant, you're liking what you're seeing right now from your team. I mean, they're coming off a rough schedule. They've been traveling a lot. And right now, even though they only have 2 hits up on the board, they're still making contact with the ball.
9-hole hitter is the right fielder, Sabrina Crane. First pitch fouled off. Crane, sophomore from Newtown, Pennsylvania. Crane getting some more playing time this year. Comes in with a 138 batting average, 4 hits and 29 at-bats. 1 extra base hit is a double. Fooled by that pitch, gets through the legs of Vest, but not far enough for Tiffany Bell to advance. Again, this is a Bryant team that came in hitting just 181, and she was fooled badly on that pitch, as you see there. And a good toss from Carly Heath.
Yeah, you could see Crane really wanted to pull back and wish she could take that one back.
Pops out of the mitt, and they will complete the out with the throw to first. And Carly Heath records her first strikeout. Nothing doing for the Bulldogs here in the second. 1 hit, they leave her stranded. We're still scoreless. We move to the bottom of the second here in Columbia. Game 1 of our doubleheader. Coach Beverly Smith of the Gamecocks looking on. You see what she's done. 6 straight NCAA tournaments, including NCAA Super Regional last year, and what a job she's done, and making this program nationally significant once again.
Coach Smith certainly has come in and put in the elbow work or grease or whatever you call it, her and Coach Novice, and they've built this program back up, and I can't say enough good things about Coach Bev.
There's Mackenzie Bozel to lead things off. The Gamecock second baseman takes a strike from Gabrielle Ermish, and we're underway. Bozel hitting in the 5-hole, usually in the top 4, and you see her numbers on the year. And not such a bad thing when she does move in the lineup. As you can see here with a solid single to center field. Prior to that, last time she'd moved in the lineup in a 3-game span, she hit 884 with 4 doubles. So things working well for Mackenzie Bozel wherever she is.
Yeah, Mackenzie Bozel, I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, when you look at your lineup and you're trying to determine where to put certain hitters, you're looking at their stats, obviously, but sometimes it's a comfort thing. Some hitters hit better lower in the lineup. Some really like upper in the lineup. And, you know, just based off the statistic and what we just saw there, it looks like Bozel is just comfortable a little bit further down.
Wild pitch will move the runner to second base. Runner in scoring position with nobody out for Kayla Drotar. Gamecocks threatening for the first time. Drotar, the DP today, also an outstanding pitcher who will hit for herself when she's pitching. Second team all-region selection a year ago. Hammers this one to center field, playable for Tiffany Bell. Moves over and makes the catch. Runner's going to try to tag, and she'll make it in safely as Mackenzie Bozel with a nice tag. So runner at third with just 1 away for the pitcher Carly Heath, a chance to help her own cause. And Gamecocks this year have 2 pitchers that hit for themselves. You don't see a lot of that.
Which I love. I love seeing pitchers that can do it being allowed to get the opportunity to hit for themselves. And like you said, it doesn't happen a whole lot, but you know, with Kayla Drotar, she came in and hit for herself quite early. I think at the beginning of her freshman year we didn't see it so much, but then towards the middle we did. And now that Coach Smith has the confidence in Carly Heath, I mean, as a pitcher, yes, there is some mental transition going from the box to the mound, but it gives you that sense of you're able to help yourself out, but you're able to contribute more to the team. But that doesn't mean that if you aren't hitting for yourself, there's something to be said for that too. I came in hitting for myself and then didn't, and was able to focus more on pitching. It's definitely a balance.
Changeup misses outside. Heath 7 for 24 in the year, 292 average. Of her 7 hits, 4 for extra bases, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, has 6 RBI. So she has proven she can handle it. Runner at third. With 1 down, we're scoreless in the second. Infield drawn in a little bit. Towering shot to right field. And touch 'em all. The freshman has done it again. A 2-run blast puts the Gamecocks on the board as Carly Heath strokes her 3rd home run of her freshman season. That was a no-doubter.
That was a no-doubter. And you could see a little bit of power over the weekend from Heath just on a couple of the foul balls. But that pitch was in on the chalk line almost. Heath does a fantastic job turning on it. And look at that. She's helped herself with Bozel's help.
I know you're loving that.
Oh, I love it.
So a good start for the Gamecocks here in the second as Heath goes yard for the third time this year. And it brings up Alexis Lindsay, the right fielder today. It's the 32nd home run for the Gamecocks this season. And this is their 24th game. Lindsay, a sophomore. Hitting .235 on the year, 3 doubles as her lone extra base hits. Fly ball to center field, but Bell is there, and there's 2 away in the Gamecock second. Brings up the first baseman, Madison Owens. Owens, a freshman, hitting over 300 in the 9 holes. You see what South Carolina has been doing offensively so far this year. You see hit by pitch, that is not a fluke. South Carolina gets a lot of freebies that way over the years. They've got several players in their lineup in the top 5 in career hit by pitch.
And they pretty much stay there with that hit by pitch year after year.
1-0, Owens gets a bunt down. Pitcher fields, throws to the second baseman covering, and they get the out there. But the Gamecocks pick up a couple of runs. The 2-run blast from the pitcher, Carly Heath. And the Gamecocks lead it 2-0 over the Bulldogs. South Carolina trying to get a little healthy, cleaning up some miscues from the weekend against Kentucky, in which they were swept in 3 games here, and just some bobbles in the field. Gamecocks made 4 errors in the series, and a few bobbles maybe that didn't go as errors here and there. And Gamecocks is trying to get things sharpened up before SEC play continues this weekend on the road at Arkansas. Leading Bryant here in game 1 of a doubleheader. Top of the order due up for the Bulldogs as Tony Camarillo steps in, and the shortstop fouls off the first pitch from Carly Heath. You see Camarillo singled an infield single to lead off the game, was left stranded at third base. Infield drawn in, outfield playing relatively shallow. And Heath quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes.
That was a good look at Heath's changeup. I think this is a good game for Heath to really kind of get her feet wet a little bit, playing on her home field and work the spots. Now, Bryant has been putting the bat on the ball, so again, I think, Heath just needs to work her spots, let her defense work for her.
Jenna Johns a vacuum at third, 1 away. Here's the left fielder, Morgan Powell. He reached on the fielder's choice sac bunt in the first inning, was left stranded at second base. Spring break here at the University of South Carolina. Of course, student athletes in season don't get the spring break, but that allows for the earlier doubleheader.
When I think they leave, they have a morning practice. South Carolina has a morning practice in the morning, and then they get on a plane to go to Arkansas. So, yeah, typically your spring break is spent practicing and or traveling in games.
But those morning practices are fun when you're not used to that.
Oh,
rolling
yes.
out of bed.
Right. That's funsies, isn't it?
Hey, look in the mirror and say, "You're a hot mess," and go out to the practice field. Well, that's how I would be. That's how I was in college, right?
Is that how you were?
Yes.
Did you talk like that too?
No, coming down from the Northeast.
I've always said that you make me sound like a redneck because of your not Southern accent.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just me. Ball and 2 strikes to Morgan Powell.
Well played.
Gamecocks wrapping up a homestand with a doubleheader today, as we told you before they head to Arkansas. Infield drawn in again. Swing and a miss, and Carly Heath has her second strikeout of the game. Both of them swinging.
Good job by Heath. Pitch low outside over the corner. I mean, there's really nothing you can do with that.
Third baseman Mariana Politis checks in. She fouled out to the first baseman Madison Owens in the first inning. Swung at the first pitch in that at-bat. Takes one down low, stands near the top of the right-handed hitter's box. Gamecocks at 18-5 coming in. Bryant at 1-15. For Coach Nick French, he's in his first year as the head coach there, former assistant at Bryant. Fastball just misses, and Heath falls behind for one of the few times today. Politis, a junior from Arcadia, California. Again, over but low as Heath falls way behind. Infield backed up now with 2 outs. Right down the middle. Breeze blowing slightly in from center field. Heath trying to battle back and retire the Bulldogs in order. Low, and there's her first walk. So a runner aboard. The Bulldogs have had at least one aboard every inning so far. Heath normally has pretty good control coming into today. It only had 15 walks in 29 innings pitched.
And that was a good at-bat by Politis. I mean, the pitches that missed low in the zone, those were tough to take. They were just at the bottom of the zone, and she did a good job of waiting and making Heath work.
Gianna Ceccarelli swings at the first pitch, slow roller, and inning over as Bozo flips to Kenzie McGuire. Nothing doing for the Bulldogs here in the third. Still 2-0 Gamecocks. Top of the order as we move to the bottom of the third here in Columbia. Gamecocks leading 2-0 after a 2-run home run from Carly Heath last inning, the freshman pitcher for the Gamecocks. Gabrielle Ermish will face the shortstop Kenzie McGuire to lead things off. 0 for 1 today. McGuire, the redshirt junior, Florida native, takes ball 1 low. McGuire, second team All-SEC and second team All-Region last year after missing most of 2017 with an injury. Hit in the air to center field. Tiffany Bell goes back to the warning track. Look out, it's gone! Kenzie McGuire into the wind. Slugs her 4th home run of the season, and the Gamecocks lead it 3-0.
See, she just takes a ball right in her wheelhouse. And if you're McGuire, that's got to feel really good. Struggling just a little bit, and she finally gets that nice hard contact.
That one I thought was going to stay in the yard a little bit with the wind blowing in, but obviously got enough of it to the deepest part of the park. 220 out there in straightaway center field, and the Gamecocks add to their lead. Here's Lauren Stewart. Stewart grounded out to third in the first inning. As we told you, she's putting together a solid season so far. Nice bounce back following an injury season last year, which she missed all year. You see her numbers. Takes a strike here. Stewart with 7 extra base hits on the season, including the 3 home runs. Next pitch. That'll get through into right center field for a base hit. Stewart with a big turn at first, and she'll hold to a single. And Stewart continues her hot hitting.
This actually was an off speed by Ermish. Stewart does a good job. You see right there, you can see her pause, check herself, and her weight was balanced. Did a good job keeping her hands back on that.
Stewart swung a good bat in that series against Kentucky. Despite the sweep, she batted .500 in the series. Here's Kennedy Clark, the left fielder, who singled to right field in the first inning, was left stranded there. See her numbers on the year. Clark is senior. Been a mainstay in the outfield all 4 years. Swung on this one, hammered to deep right center field. Look out, it is off the top of the scoreboard. Kennedy Clark with a monster home run for the Gamecocks, her 4th of the year. And the Gamecocks extend the lead. 3rd home run of the day. It's now 5-0 Gamecocks.
Another pitch, just Ermish just keeping the ball too sweet over the plate for Clark again. Just another nice touch on the ball. You can see the Gamecock bats are coming alive. This is the 2nd time through the lineup. They're starting to see the ball well.
Gamecocks with 3 home runs, accounting for all of their runs here so far today. And here's the 3rd baseman, Jana Johns, who hit one back to the pitcher to end the 1st inning. Johns leading the team with 6 home runs on the year. Takes a strike here. Kennedy Clark now 13 career home runs. A 2-run shot from Carly Heath in the 2nd. 2 home runs here in the 3rd inning. Another off-speed misses outside, 2-1. Gabriel Ermish being tagged early here. The junior Pennsylvania native had only given up 1 home run in 35 and 2/3 innings prior to today. Fisted foul, that'll get out of play. And already some warm-up work in the bullpen for Bryant. I believe that's Adriana Sanchez who's warming up, a sophomore from Clyde, Ohio.
Yeah, outside of the pitch to Carly Heath, which I did think that was on the chalk line and fairly low in the zone, Ermish is only getting in trouble when she's bringing the ball up and missing.
3 straight hits to start the 3rd for the Gamecocks. A solo home run from Kenzie McGuire, and then a single from Lauren Stewart, and a 2-run homer from Kennedy Clark. That hit off the top of the scoreboard. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jana Johns, the sophomore. Runs the count full. It's the tough part of the lineup. Already Clark has hit 1. You've got Jana Johns and Mackenzie Bozel, who's hitting in the 5 spot today, one of the better power hitters for the Gamecocks as well. John stays alive. First ever meeting between these 2 schools. Bryant applied for Division I status back in 2007, started competing for championships at the Division I level in 2012, so still relatively new to this level. Payoff fouled off. We'll do it again. Double-digit pitch at bat here for Jana Johns. Well, Ermish still looking for the first out of the inning. Johns has seen a little bit of everything.
You talk about Bryant, and they're just still trying to get used to the Division I level. But again, I bring up their travel schedule, and I know that when you go to a school that far up north, that you come to expect that you're going to be traveling a lot, especially the first part of the season. You're not going to be able to practice outdoors very much, but that doesn't mean that they're okay, and it means that it still is going to have an effect. I mean, if you think about you as an individual and how much you travel maybe for your work or just for vacation or whatever, and now think about being gone every weekend or every week
Yep.
for multiple weeks in a row. It's a lot.
And we're not talking about short bus trips either. They've been to Miami, Athens, Georgia, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. They were over at Coastal Carolina earlier this week. And Johns wins the battle here, coaxes a walk. First free pass given up by Ermish, but the Gamecocks have a runner aboard, nobody out, and that's going to prompt a visit from Coach French. As again, Bryant, 28 straight games away from home to start things.
And you think about having to keep up with schoolwork. You think about having to pack, repack. If they have any pets, deal with that. Not sleeping in your own bed, and then constantly having to make an adjustment to a different field, different weather. That's a legitimate struggle that some of these teams up north deal with that teams in the south don't have to deal with.
Ermish will stay in there for now as Coach French back to the dugout. Mackenzie Bosel will stand in. She singled and scored on the 2-run home run by Carly Heath last inning. Ermish threw 22 pitches in the first 2 innings combined, 12 pitches in that last at-bat to Jana Johns. Bosel takes a strike. The 1 pitch, grounded to second. Goulart is there, flips to second for 1. Relay to first, not in time. So Johns retired on the fielder's choice. First out of the innings, you get another look. Kayla Drotar will step in.
And this was a nice job by Goulart going after the lead runner, take some pressure off Ermish.
Runner's going, throw down to second, not in time. And Bosel has herself a second stolen base. That is her 4th of the year. She's 4 for 4. Runner in scoring position for Drotar, who flied to center. Line drive down the left field line, but just foul. Drotar, just up the road in Hartsville, South Carolina. Got a lot of pop in her bat. Second on the team with 5 home runs. Had 10 long balls last year. And only gave up 10 in the circle as a pitcher.
Yeah, that's saying something. I mean, she's known as a down ball pitcher. She's going to keep the ball low in the zone, so you come to expect that, but only 10 all year? That's impressive.
Yeah, pops out of the mid of the catcher, Hickey, and Bosel will take third. So runner at third, still just 1 away. Gamecocks with a 3 spot already in this inning on the home runs from McGuire and Clark. Two again, sails high. Ball 4, second walk of the game and the inning for Ermish, and the Gamecocks have him at the corners. Carly Heath, the pitcher, will stand in, and this may be it for Ermish. Coach French out of the dugout for Bryant, as they've got a couple of folks warming up in their bullpen. And that's going to do it. We're going to have a pitching change here in Columbia. As the Bulldogs will go to the bullpen. We'll tell you all about it when we come back. Jocelyn Bodington, the freshman, comes out of the bullpen, and she'll take over in the circle for the Bryant University Bulldogs. She'll replace Ermish. You see her numbers. Can't close the book on her yet. They got a couple of runners at first and third. Still just one out. And Carly Heath, the Gamecock pitcher, will try to help her cause once again, and she's been doing it offensively and defensively so far today. Heath in the circle has been effective. He's got a couple of strikeouts, and then this is her first plate appearance in the second inning. Got the scoring started with a 2-run blast, the third home run of the season for the freshman. That got the Gamecocks on the board. Now her team has added 3 more runs here in the third, and she has a chance to provide some more.
I think Coach French brings Bodington in. She's throwing from the left-hand side. He's trying to give South Carolina a little bit different look. What a pitcher brings when they throw from the left-hand side is they have that pitch that's going to break away from a left-handed hitter, and sometimes they can even start it at the left-handed hitter and breaks across the plate, which is just movement that you don't see from the right side. So different look here, important for Heath to be patient.
Bodington's only pitched 9 innings so far this year. Sends a fly ball to Powell. The left fielder's got it. Runner from third will tag and score, and the Gamecocks add to their lead at 6-0 as Heath drives in her third run of the day. The pitcher hitter, Carly Heath, does her job. Morgan Davis, by the way, is the pinch runner at first base after Drotar drew the walk. 2 outs for Alexis Lindsay, the right fielder, who flied out to center in the second inning. She'll take a strike at the letters. Nipped the inside corner there and had Lindsay bailing out a little bit.
Yeah, and that kind of threw me off, too. Bodington does a good job of selling this pitch. You can see that change up. A little bit, the reaction from Lindsay there gives you a little bit of idea of the spin that's coming in. Bodington, ball looked like it was coming right at Lindsay and then was able to break back over the plate.
Alexis Lindsay, a redshirt sophomore out of San Jose, California. Slow roller past the circle. Second baseman Goulart's got it. Not in time. Lindsay legs it out for an infield single. And the inning will continue. Runners at first and second now. And the first baseman, Madison Owens, will step in. The 9th Gamecock to come to the plate this inning. Take another look here.
Yeah, so what you're looking for here is the defensive. On the defense, the ball has to clearly beat the runner crossing first. So if it appears like it's a tie, then the call is going to go to the runner. The ball has to be there first.
Owens takes ball 1 outside. 0 for 1 today. Tried to bunt her way on last inning. Good job by the catcher Hickey to keep that in front. 2 on, 2 out, and 4 in the inning. Bodington falls way behind here.
So if you're Bodington, you're really wanting to go after Madison Owens here, get this third out so that you can start at the top of the order with the bases clear.
And that won't be the case as she issues her first walk, and they're loaded for Kenzie McGuire. McGuire's already had a good inning. She started the inning with a home run to center field. And now she stands in with the bases full of Gamecocks. McGuire 1 for 2 today. Takes a fast strike here. Gamecocks have hit 3 home runs today. McGuire led off with her 4th home run of the year. Head off the inning, I should say. That one squirts away, but Boddington does a good job to hustle and prevent a runner from coming home. Here's what McGuire did to start off the inning. Into the wind to straightaway center field. Breeze was blowing in at the time, and that was her 4th of the year. Slow roller, Boddington to first, inning over. But the Gamecocks pick up 4 more runs. A couple of long balls doing the damage. South Carolina's hit 3 of them today. They lead it 6-0 after 3 here in Columbia. Six to nothing Gamecocks as we move to the 4th inning here in Columbia. Game 1 of our doubleheader between the Gamecocks and the visiting Bryant University Bulldogs. 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for the Bulldogs. First baseman Jessica Gradius will lead things off. Carly Heath in the circle. No runs, 2 hits, a couple of strikeouts thus far. Let's see what Gradius has done so far today. Backhanded by McGuire, long throw, what a play.
All right, now she's just showing off.
Kenzie McGuire, if you watched her during her career, this is commonplace for her. Good stretch at first base, by the way, by Madison Owens, but enjoy this.
Yes, it was. I mean, gosh, I could watch this all day. Matter of fact, I believe last season, didn't she win something for that play?
Yes, she got what the Sports Center top play or play at one of the plays of the year.
Yeah, something like that.
SEC softball play of the year for defensive play she made, and again, she makes those commonly, routinely. Kaylee Goulart steps in. The second baseman's 0 for 1. Strike from Carly Heath. She's got that whip arm, comes really underhand, and that's something she's always done. And then the last 2 years, she's really come on with the bat. You see Goulart's numbers on the year.
When you have to think about how much time that saves McGuire over there at shortstop having to make, I don't want to call it a submarine throw, but sometimes it kind of looks like that. But you don't see a lot of athletes, 1, that do that routinely, and 2, that can do it well. And she does it both, and man, I just tell you, I love it.
2-1 pitch to Goulart, fouled off. And McGuire started doing that as a youngster. She had a collarbone injury, which prevented her for a while from throwing overhand. And she just got in the habit of doing that, throwing that sidearm or submarine, whatever you want to call it. It became comfortable and routine for her, and it's turned into a huge asset for her defensively.
I'm starting to see more things like that emerge in the sport. For a while there, it seemed that anytime you go to a school, it had to be a very cookie cutter approach to mechanics, whether it's hitting or fielding or pitching or whatever the case is. But now I think you're seeing more coaches understand that as long as there's not a fundamental issue that is going to hurt the athlete physically, that it doesn't matter how the ball gets there. It's just that the ball gets there. So if that works for somebody, let them be.
Payoff pitch up high. It was the 3rd full count, and Heath issues her first walk of the day. Bulldogs have had a base runner in every inning, but nothing to show for it thus far. They have a pinch hitter here, perhaps, as Coach Beverly Smith out of the dugout for South Carolina to bring the infield in. And we're going to have a pinch hitter in the 7 hole, as Nicole Zakowski has grabbed a bat. Zakowski is a junior from Medford, New York. Did not play last year. In 2017, hit .243 with 3 home runs. Zakowski looking for her first hit of the season in limited playing time, 0 for 8. Had a good cut, came up empty.
You can see Carly Heath wasting no time, going right at Zukowski. Exactly what she wants to do. Pinch hitter, like you said, hasn't had many at-bats. And so you go at her until she gives you a reason not to.
Now Carly Heath quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Doulard over at first, 1 stolen base this year. It's a Bryant team that doesn't run a lot. They have 10 stolen bases in this, their 17th game of the year. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3rd strikeout of the game for Carly Heath, and it's the 2nd out here in the 4th.
Heath going up in the zone. You can see a little jump on her rise ball there at the end.
It's a hard one to lay off.
Absolutely. It's the whole point of a rise ball, Brad.
That's right.
To trick folks like you.
Here's Tiffany Bell, single through the left side in the 2nd inning. Slap hitter slaps that one foul. 50 pitches now for Carly Heath. We'll see what Carly Heath has done. Next pitch stays high. Laid off that one. Gamecocks with 2 runs in the 2nd, 4 in the 3rd. 6 runs on 7 hits. Bulldogs no runs on 2 hits thus far. Heath way ahead now, a ball and 2 strikes. A nice week weather-wise here in Columbia. After some cold weeks a couple of weeks ago where it was not fun to be on the diamond. Swing and a miss, and they'll complete the out at 3rd for out number 3. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the frame. 4 strikeouts for Carly Heath and some good defense from Kenzie McGuire to start things off. Gamecocks still leading 6-0. Six to nothing Gamecocks as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning here in Columbia. Game 1 of our doubleheader. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Gamecocks. Lauren Stewart to lead things off against Jocelyn Bodington, who came in last inning in relief of Gabrielle Ermish. Gamecocks 2 runs in the 2nd, 4 in the 3rd. They've hit 3 home runs today. Stewart 1 for 2, singled and scored around a home run in the 3rd inning. Ball 1 low, and we're underway in the bottom of the 4th. Breeze blowing out towards right field now, is blowing in earlier. Gamecocks with 6 runs on 7 hits. Bulldogs have had a base runner every inning, but nothing to show for it. As Stewart gets into one, deep to center field. Look out, she'll touch them all. Lauren Stewart does it again. Her 4th home run of the year, and the Gamecocks lead it 7-0.
I was looking really close, Brad, to see Lauren Stewart's face. There it is. Love the smile. She has really come through big for the Gamecocks, at least in these last, over the weekend and in this game. Love watching her play.
And again, it was just great to see her come back, transfer from Purdue, who did not play much her first year here at South Carolina. In fact, only had 11 at-bats in 2017, missed all of last year with injury. Gamecocks had 65 home runs last year. That's a program record, and you see what they've done midway through the season already. They've hit 4 home runs today. Kennedy Clark has one of them. She's at the plate now, a 2-run shot last inning. Next one up high. Kennedy Clark with 10 career home runs now. And by the way, that 2-run shot in the third inning put over 100 career RBI, 101 now in her career. The 18th Gamecock to reach that feat in program history.
And she still has a lot of season left, so I would expect her. Well, what's the next? What does she have to pass? What does she have to pass?
To get up to 17? I'll look it up.
Oh.
Last time Clark came to the plate last inning, this is what she did. That went off the top of the scoreboard. She's doing something here. The scoreboard about, what, 50 feet in the air at the top of it, 40 feet? She almost hit the clock.
It's big.
Rolls this one to first. Nice. What a play by Gradius. And there's the first out. Took away a hit.
See, Clark just turns on that, and very nicely done over there.
Sometimes you can hit the ball well and have nothing to show for it. Tremendous play there at first base. Here's Gianna Johns, a sophomore third baseman, looking for her first hit. A ground out in the first inning, walked in the third inning. Boatington, the second pitcher of the day for the Bulldogs. He's a freshman from Cumberland, Rhode Island. See John's numbers on the year.
Boatington did a really nice job coming in last inning, trying to get out of the inning. Just had one run get across, but she was put into a very tough situation. And as a freshman, you got to like that from your freshman pitcher.
Johns is retired as Camarillo, the shortstop, makes the play. 2 outs, nobody on for Mackenzie Bozel. Bozel, a single in the second inning. Fielder's choice in the third. She scored a pair of runs. Second time this year the Gamecocks have hit 4 home runs. Last time was against Campbell. 2-0 to Bozel. Bozel, a second team All-SEC selection a year ago. Led the team in hitting at .360.
There's that tricky little changeup that Boatington's throwing. I swear, she sells that pitch very well, and she takes a lot of speed. I like how it drops down in the zone. That's tough.
There's a fast strike. Bozel, 9 doubles, 3 home runs, 17 RBI on the year. 3-1 pitch, another chance for Camarillo at short. Inning over, but the Gamecocks played another run on the solo shot from Lauren Stewart. It's 7-0 Gamecocks after 4. Top of the 5th in Columbia, game 1 of our doubleheader. Gamecocks enjoying a 7-0 lead here. 9-1 and 2 hitters due up for the Bryant University Bulldogs. And have a pinch hitter for the Bulldogs to lead things off. Allison Tomeno, a freshman, will grab a bat and take the place for now of Sabrina Crane. Carly Heath in the circle, the freshman for the Gamecocks. Just off the plate. Tomeno, a freshman from Monmouth Beach, New Jersey. Just her 5th plate appearance of the season. She's 0 for 4. Fouls that one out of play. Gamecocks 2 runs in the second, 4 in the third, 1 in the fourth. They've hit 4 home runs today. Infield in for Tomeno, and the outfield playing shallow. Nips the outside corner, and Heath way ahead.
Heath has been hitting that location consistently all game. I really like that spot. That's going to be a spot that she's definitely going to want to carry with her this weekend as they go into Arkansas.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 5 strikeouts for Heath, and she struck out 3 in a row going back to last inning, all of them swinging.
You see she was working mostly down in the zone, and then she comes up with that nice rise ball.
Back to the top of the order for Tony Camarillo, who has one of the 2 hits for the Bulldogs today, 1 for 2. An infield single to lead off the game. She's also grounded out to Jana Johns at third. Again, the infield drawn in. The checker swing, it's ruled a strike. Carly Heath, one of 5 pitchers on the Gamecock pitching staff this year. A little deeper than most. They were already pretty deep. They returned all 3 of their pitchers from last year, and all 3 brought something to the table that helped them get to the Super Regional. They added 2 more this year that can help as well. Popped up into short left field, but Kennedy Clark was playing shallow, and she's got it for out number 2. Talk about how the game has changed and how much deeper pitching staffs are getting. I know when you pitched, a lot of times you were pitching almost every day, right?
Yes, I was. I literally was pitching every day. But, you know, when I look back, you didn't know any different, and I wanted the ball every game. And so I think coaches were a little scared of me to take the ball away. But now when you have, I was just sitting there thinking about, wow, what would it have been like to have 4 other pitchers behind that could take some innings. And Coach Smith she is known in the softball world even before she came here to South Carolina for being able to develop pitchers and recruit pitchers. And you can see she's done a good job. And she pitches by staff. Sometimes you'll see one pitcher start and then won't hesitate. Even if that starting pitcher is doing well, she'll bring in a reliever just for a change of pace, and they've got to learn how to work like that, because when you hit conference in the SEC, you have to go through your pitchers like that sometimes.
Jenny Kelly is the pinch hitter here for the Bulldogs. A ball and a strike now, 2 outs and nobody on. And so far this season, with what Carly Heath has done, she has shown to be a nice addition to a veteran staff. Drotar is a junior, Kelsey O a sophomore who had a tremendous freshman season. Dixie Raley's the senior.
And so for Carly Heath to be able to come out today on this midweek game and carry what looks like is going to be a full game here, not only is she working on her game and kind of continuing to get her feet wet at this level, but she's also saving innings from a Kayla Drotar, a Dixie Raley, and Kelsey O. So now when they go into a big SEC weekend, they're going to be fresh.
And it's also helped having the extra arms with Kelsey O, who again was one of the top pitchers last year, went down with an ankle injury early in the year, and it took a long time for her to get back, just got back about a week ago. And so it was good to have those extra arms that could be effective.
Absolutely.
3-1 pitch to Cali, and she missed it for ball 4. Second walk given up by Heath today. And again, the Bulldogs have had a base runner in every inning. So runner at first. And looks like we'll get another pinch hitter here in the 3-hole. Carlin Hernandez will step in. She's a freshman from Cypress, California. Runner at first with 2 down. At the checker swing, it's rolled a strike. Hernandez 0 for 13 on the season. Down low, and a good defensive play by Anna Vest. The Gamecocks returned so many veteran players this year from last year's team that won 49 games and went to the Super Regional, but that was one area they had to look for, was behind the plate. Anna Vest was on the team last year, didn't play much, But that was something they had to shore up, was the catching position. That one is over the head. The wild pitch will get the runner to second.
I mean, you talk about trying to fill a tough position. One, I think that catchers don't get enough credit because they have to work hard and make adjustments from pitcher to pitcher. I mean, we saw Vest drop to her knees and be able to keep the ball in front of her. That's not easy to do. So when you're having to fill a position like that moving into the next season, that's a big deal.
Rounded to first. Madison Owens is there. Inning over. Nothing doing for the Bulldogs as they strand a base runner. It's still 7-0 Gamecocks. Cocky likes what he's seeing so far. Gamecocks leading Bryant here in game one of this doubleheader, 7-0. As we move to the bottom of the fifth, third pitcher of the day for the Bulldogs, Adriana Sanchez, a sophomore, takes to the circle. Only her second appearance of the season. She's pitched just 2 innings, allowing a 1 run on 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and 1 walk. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Gamecocks here in the fifth. The DP, Kayla Drotar, to lead things off. Drotar 0 for 1 with a walk today. Walked on her last trip in the 3rd inning.
That's a good look right there at Kayla Drotar's personality, just how she is. She likes to laugh, joke. She's very loose. Had a really great opportunity to talk with her. And she has power. Forgot to mention that.
Now this one will get to the warning track, but not out of here for the first out of the inning. Gamecocks have hit 4 home runs today, and Drotar flirted with 1 there. Yep, had 10 home runs last year, did Drotar. Tiffany Bell able to track that one down. Well, here's Carly Heath, who's done it in the circle, and she's done it at the plate. She's driven in 3 today, a 2-run home run in the second, and a sac fly to drive in the run, another run in the third. A double threat player.
She's had quite a game so far.
Five strikeouts in the circle. Takes ball 2 here from Sanchez. Gamecocks and Bulldogs will play twice today. And again, if you're just joining us, Bryant University from Smithfield, Rhode Island, out of the Northeastern Conference. On the road for every game so far. This is their 17th game of the year. They played in Miami, Florida, Boca Raton, Athens, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Played over at Coastal Carolina the other day. They won't play their first home game till the end of the month. 28 straight to start on the road. They're getting to know each other really well.
Yes, yes they are.
2-1 pitch to Heath, and that'll be caught by the left fielder, Morgan Powell. Check that. That's Elena Michaud, who checked into left field now, new left fielder. 2 up, 2 down for the Gamecocks, and it brings up the right fielder, Alexis Lindsay. Lindsay 1 for 2, an infield single in her last trip in the 3rd inning. Takes a strike on the outside corner here. And I have to say, as a broadcaster, if you're ever hoping to get a post-game interview with someone who's having a good game, this young lady at the plate is one you want to interview. You want to talk about personality. Alexis Lindsay is a fun interview. It's a photography habit, if you will. And she had an internship out west over the summer. Takes some great photos and just has a great way of expressing herself, I'll say that. She has a lot of fun. Hammers this one into right field for a base hit, her second hit of the day. 9th hit of the day for the Gamecocks. And it brings up the first baseman, Madison Owens, but looks like we'll get a pinch runner at first base for Lindsay.
I'm trying to think if I've ever talked to a softball athlete that really didn't have a fun personality to speak with, and I can't think of one. Not that I would mention them on air, but the point is just to say that I think softball athletes got it going on.
Yep.
Good personality.
They're pretty loose. You know, they
fun.
Haley Simpson's the pinch runner at first base, taking Lindsay's spot. And here's Madison Owens at the plate. She'll take a strike. Owens walked in her last trip in the third inning. Grounded to third. Politis is there. Inning over. Gamecocks get one aboard. They don't score. It's still 7-0 Gamecocks after 5. Sixth inning in Columbia. South Carolina still leading Bryant College 7-0. Middle third of the order due up for the Bulldogs against the freshman Carly Heath. She's done a nice job. 5 strikeouts, 2 hits, couple of walks today. Gianna Ceccarelli to lead things off. A couple of groundouts today. He's the DP for the Bulldogs. Breeze blowing in again from center field. See Ceccarelli's numbers on the year. Ceccarelli trying to get her bat going. She was one of the top hitters on the team last year. Was a second team All Northeastern Conference selection. Hit .323 a year ago. Came into this game hitting below 200. Just foul as Jana John scoops it up. Gamecocks will hit the road for SEC play this weekend for 3 at Arkansas. Still 2-2 to Ceccarelli. Carly Heath, the freshman from North Augusta, which is in South Carolina, just before the border. Down the left field line, it's a foul ball.
That is accurate, Brad. But, you know, I live in Augusta, or actually Evans, and a lot of people tend to get that North Augusta mixed up. North Augusta is a very nice area, I will say, and Carly Heath definitely made a name for herself in that area.
Gets a visit from Coach Beverly Smith here. She sees she's thrown 75 pitches so far today. Bulldogs have gotten some base runners. In fact, they've had at least one base runner every inning. They scattered just the 2 hits and a couple of walks and a fielder's choice back in the first inning. Heath deals 2-2 again to Ceccarelli. The battle continues.
Ceccarelli's having a nice at-bat here. I can see she's moved up on the plate some.
8th pitch of the at-bat here. Came in on the fists, and again, Ceccarelli does a nice job to fight that one off. Stays high, runs the count full. Ceccarelli's seen just about everything so far. This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat.
She's doing a good job of making Carly Heath work.
Up high, and she wins the battle. 4th walk given up by Heath today. And it's the 2nd time today that the Bulldogs have gotten the leadoff aboard. Gonna have a pinch hitter in the 5 hole.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
Dakota Billadu.
Number 4, Dakota Billadu.
Billadu, sophomore from Milford, New Hampshire. She'll bat for Gradius and takes a strike here. Billadu 2 for 16 on the year. No extra base hits, a couple of RBI. Checks her swing.
The last several hitters for Bryant seem to have made an adjustment. They're really laying off Carly Heath's rise ball. Looks like they're making Heath throw more pitches.
Way out in front there. 3rd time through the order. A ball and 2 strikes now. Line drive, double play. And Heath out of the jam right now after the leadoff walk.
Another nice defensive play.
Madison Owens, the first baseman, taking care of business here.
Exactly what Carly Heath needed. Struggling just a little bit. Runner on, and then her defense comes through for her.
Number 8, Dana Blasi.
Dana Blasi has grabbed a bat and will pinch hit. Senior from Waterbury, Connecticut. Takes a strike. The 1 stays high and outside from Carly Heath. Carly Heath way ahead now. This is the 2nd plate appearance of the season for Blasi. She was hit by a pitch in her lone plate appearance. Strikes out here to end the frame. 6th strikeout of the game for Carly Heath. It's 7-0 Gamecocks. Bottom of the 6th in Columbia. Cocky's not going anywhere. We'll play 2 today. Top of the order due up for the Gamecocks. Leading Bryant here 7-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, leading off for the Gamecocks, the shortstop, number 2.
There's Kenzie McGuire to lead things off. 1 for 3 today, then 1 hit, a solo shot to lead off the 3rd inning, her 4th home run of the year. Adriana Sanchez in the circle, her 2nd inning of work. Misses high, and McGuire ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. It's this one in the gap towards right center field. Right fielder Crane comes over, makes the grab for out number 1. Actually, that's Colby Diesel checked into right field. One up, one down for Lauren Stewart, who's already had a pretty good day. 2 for 3, a single. Her 4th home run of the season, a solo shot to lead off the 4th, and she's scored a pair of runs. Sends this one in the gap towards right center. This is going to be a tough play, and another nice catch out there in right field. Colby Diesel.
That was actually a fantastic catch.
Didn't think she was going to catch up to it, but she sure did to take away extra bases for Lauren Stewart.
Very well played.
Quickly 2 up and 2 down for Kennedy Clark. Clark a 2 for 3 day, including a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning, her 4th of the year.
I actually really liked what I saw from both the center fielder Bell and Diesel on that hit, because you saw Diesel come over and then you saw Bell doing a nice job on the backup, because if that had gone through, it would have gone all the way to the wall if Bell hadn't been there.
Clark sends a shot down the right field line, but it'll drop foul. Take another look at that.
Yeah, you can see just very textbook movement by the outfielders, and I point that out because sometimes you won't see that. You'll have a center fielder forget to go back up on plays like that, and that can cost teams games.
Grounder to second. Inning over. Gamecocks go down in order for the first time today. They lead it 7-0. Last chance coming up for the Bulldogs. Last chance for the Bryant University Bulldogs here in Game 1. Gamecocks leading it 7-0. 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for the Bulldogs. We'll have another pinch hitter as Nicole Davis will lead things off for Bryant. Davis, a junior from Toms River, New Jersey. Davis hitting 3 for 15 on the year, an even 200. Takes a strike from Carly Heath, the freshman. Infield in. Just misses on the outside. A ball and a strike now as Carly Heath came into this contest 5-0 with a 2.66 earned run average. She struck out 6, walked 4, given up 2 hits. Allowed only multiple base runners only once. That was back in the 1st inning after a single and a fielder's choice.
Heath definitely settled down after that 1st inning. Not that she was out of control, but you could see a noticeable tightening up of her pitches around the zone. I would say that she's had a solid game. Definitely going to have to keep working on the free passes, as does any pitcher. You have to be aware of those sorts of things, but she's thrown well.
Two-two pitch to Davis. Got her swinging. There's strikeout number 7.
That was a nice changeup by Carly Heath. You can see she sells the pitch well here. Love how her ball has that nice drop to it on the end.
Another pinch hitter for the Bulldogs will be Jane Owens. Owens, a freshman. Owens 1 for 2 on the season. Interesting story. Her dad, Steve Owens, is the baseball coach at Bryant University, and both her brothers play baseball there. So it's a family thing.
And another example of the connection between family members that play, right?
But they had a lot of fun in the backyard growing up.
They did. I bet Dad's arm got worn out.
Yep. 2-2 now. About 30 minutes after the completion of this game, we'll have game 2. Just off the plate, runs the count full. The payoff pitch from the freshman Heath. Missed inside. She walked her 5th walk given up today by Heath.
Right fielder number 34.
Brings up the right fielder, Colby Diesel, who was a defensive replacement last inning. Hitting in the 9-hole. Diesel 0 for 4 on the season. Takes strike 1 here from Heath. Grounded to first. Owens will go to second for 1. They get the leading lady for the second out of the inning. So runner at first, back to the top of the order for the shortstop, Tony Camarillo. He's sitting on 100 pitches right now. Camarillo 1 for 3, an infield single to lead off the game. She got to third base and was left stranded there. That the lone scoring opportunity for the Bulldogs today, or their best scoring opportunity. Takes a strike here. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Just off the plate again. Gamecocks with a 2-run second inning, 4 runs in the third, and another run in the 4th inning. 4 home runs today. Swung on, hitting the air to left field. Kennedy Clark is there. And that'll end the game. Gamecocks a winner 7-0 here in game 1. Game 2 coming up in about 30 minutes, and a nice afternoon for Carly Heath.
I think Carly Heath threw a solid game. It was nice of her to get in there, get her feet wet, get that full 7 innings, take some innings away from the other pitchers. Now they've got to come back and stay focused for this next game. Game 2 will come on in about 30 minutes. We'll be back with you for that. For our producer Justin Stoll and for Dr. Megan Matthews Bunning, thanks for joining us here this afternoon. I'm Brad Muller. We'll see you in 30 minutes.